Hey, Wiser readers, and welcome back. We all dream of a life where creativity is unbounded, opportunity is everywhere, and abundance is just a natural part of our existence. But for too many of us, getting ahead feels less like a dream and more like a desperate scramble. We work harder, but the richness, the real expansive life we crave, seems perpetually out of reach. Today, we're cracking open a book that promises a blueprint for changing that reality, Wallace D. Wattles' groundbreaking work, The Science of Getting Rich. Published over a century ago, this book isn't about stock tips or get-rich-quick schemes. It's about a precise, step-by-step philosophy that treats wealth creation as an exact science. The very first principle Wattles establishes is your fundamental right to be rich. It's a bold starting point that shifts the focus immediately. But what does that science look like? As we explore the 12 core chapters, from gratitude to how to use the will, we uncover a three-part mechanism. It begins with thought, the ability to conceive of the life you want in the certain way. This is followed by the will, the mental energy required to hold that vision steady. And finally, the entire system culminates in action in the certain way, making your physical contributions match your mental convictions. Wattles challenges the competitive mindset, urging us instead toward increasing life, both for ourselves and for everyone we interact with. This journey, outlined perfectly in chapters like Advanced Action, isn't just about accumulating money. It's about becoming the person who can sustain a rich, fulfilling, and generous life. If you're ready to move past luck and randomness and step into the methodical power of creation, stick with us. We're about to dive deep into these 12 revolutionary principles. And before we get started, if you're passionate about diving deep into transformative literature and building a better life, please take a second to join the WiserReads family by subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Your support truly helps us bring these powerful ideas to more people. Now, let's explore Chapter 1, The Right to be Rich.
The Right to be Rich. Wallace D. Wattles begins the book by asserting that the highest form of human life is achieved through the development of the mind, soul, and body. And to develop these fully, a person must have money. Wattles argues that every living creature has an inalienable right to all the life they are capable of experiencing. The quantity of life one is capable of living is directly proportional to the abundance of material resources at their command. The failure to have enough money to buy the things necessary for full physical and mental expression is a tragic limitation on life itself. The goal is not to be content with mere subsistence, but to become rich, to have the resources to fully realize one's potential. A person's highest duty is to maximize their life, and to do this, they must acquire wealth by systematic and lawful means. He dismisses the idea of poverty being a virtue and insists that it is a moral and ethical necessity to pursue the means, money, that enable one to live a life of power, beauty, and richness. This chapter sets the stage, making the pursuit of wealth a noble, spiritual, and necessary endeavor for a complete existence.
There is a science of getting rich. This chapter lays out the book's core foundational premise. Getting rich is not a matter of chance, circumstance, or talent, but the result of doing things in a certain way. Wattles contends that just as there is a science to arithmetic or chemistry, there is a science of acquiring wealth, and its principles are exact. The laws governing the acquisition of riches are so precise that anyone who applies them will become rich with mathematical certainty. The author refutes the common idea that wealth is dependent on environment, location, or superior talent. If riches were solely dependent on location, then everyone in a successful location would be wealthy. which is demonstrably false. Similarly, if it depended on intellectual ability, only the most gifted would succeed. The true factor is always doing things in a specific, methodical manner. This certain way is available to everyone, regardless of their current circumstances or natural gifts. By identifying and adopting this method, anyone can join the ranks of the wealthy. The goal of the book, therefore, is to teach the reader this exact science, demonstrating that it is a direct result of cause and effect, accessible to all who choose to follow the prescribed method precisely.
Is opportunity monopolized? Wattles addresses the common concern that all opportunities for wealth have already been taken by those in power, leaving little room for newcomers. He firmly rejects this competitive view of the world. The core argument is that wealth creation does not occur by taking from a finite pile of resources, but by creation, not competition. He introduces the concept of formless substance, or original substance, from which all things are made. This substance is intelligent and actively seeking to manifest through humanity. The universe is not a finished product, it is constantly expanding, and there is an inexhaustible supply of wealth available to be formed. Wattles explains that you do not get rich by taking the job or the resources of another. Instead, you create something new, or you transform an existing process so significantly that the new creation is available to those who may not have had it before. When you sell something to a person, you must ensure they receive more in use value than the cash they surrender. By enriching the life of others in this way, you simultaneously enrich your own. Therefore, opportunity is never monopolized. It is born continuously through the creative power of thought and the expansion of the universe.
The first principle in the science of getting rich. The chapter identifies the absolute starting point for acquiring wealth, thinking in a certain way. Wattles clarifies that everything in the physical world is created from the formless substance, and this substance is capable of being influenced by thought. Since all wealth originates from this formless substance, the primary step in getting rich is to impress upon this substance the thought of the desired object. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing this thought upon the formless substance, the things he thinks of are created. The author makes a crucial distinction. It is not enough to just want wealth or to have a vague desire for comfort. You must form a clear, definite mental picture of what you want, the exact house, the specific business, the quantity of money, and the life you intend to lead. This vision must be held with unwavering purpose and faith. Furthermore, your thought must be a thought of creation, not competition. Your mind must be fixed on the expansion of life and the building of what you desire, free from any worry about existing market conditions or the success of others. This definitive mental image, held with intense purpose, is the first and most vital step determining the direction and speed of the entire wealth-building process. Increasing life. This chapter explains the ethical framework that underpins the scientific method of getting rich. The ultimate purpose of life is the increase of life. Every individual, by nature, seeks full and harmonious development of their physical, mental, and spiritual being. Wattles asserts that you are fulfilling the purpose of nature by seeking riches, as money is the tool for that comprehensive development. The ethical concern is this: if you must not compete for a limited supply, how do you attract the wealth you need? The answer lies in the principle of increasing life. You must, in every business transaction and social interaction, give everyone more in use value than they give you in cash value.
Wattles uses the example of a farmer. If a farmer sells you grain, the farmer must receive the cash, but you, the buyer, must use the grain to achieve more life than if you had kept the cash. When you transact business in the certain way, you act as a creative center, ensuring that everyone who deals with you moves toward a richer life. This creates a powerful, positive momentum, drawing others to you and ensuring that the formless substance works to bring you what you desire, because your intentions align with the universe's principle of expansion. You must never practice shrewdness or try to get something for nothing. Instead, focus only on giving increase to everyone.
How riches come to you. After establishing the mental picture and the purpose, the certain way of thinking, this chapter addresses the crucial question of how the desired riches actually manifest in your life. Wattles emphasizes that the wealth will not simply materialize out of thin air or fall from the sky. It will arrive through the established channels of trade and commerce, and it will come to you through the people you deal with. The key to this process is to understand that the formless substance is activated by your positive mental image, and it works upon the minds of others to move things toward you. Therefore, the first practical step is to act where you are. Do not wait for a perfect opportunity or a change in environment. Instead, whatever your current job or business, apply your creative thought and purpose immediately. Do every single day's work perfectly and successfully, and always with the underlying conviction that you are getting rich and helping others to increase their lives. You must accept the riches when they arrive, not out of greed, but with gratitude, and put every dollar to its highest use. By keeping your mind fixed on the vision and acting with the full conviction that the wealth is already on its way, you maintain the continuous creative force that governs the entire process. This unwavering faith and purpose ensures that every action you take, no matter how small, becomes part of the grand plan that brings the desired riches directly to you.
Gratitude. The chapter on gratitude acts as a necessary bridge between the formation of the creative mental picture, Chapter 4, and the practical application of the science. Wattles states that to attract the resources you need, your mind must be brought into harmony with the creative power of the universe, and the channel that connects you to this power is gratitude. Gratitude is the mental mechanism that switches a person's focus from the competitive plane to the creative plane. When a person focuses on the lack and deficiency in their current life, they are thinking competitively, and their mind is impressed with the image of poverty. By consciously practicing sincere gratitude for the good things they already possess, they bring their mind into union with the source of all good, the formless substance. This practice prevents the mind from dwelling on current, undesirable circumstances or financial shortages. Wattles instructs the reader to develop a continuous, profound feeling of thankfulness. This gratitude must be aimed at the universal intelligence that is constantly striving to give you more. This active state of thankfulness reinforces your conviction that the riches you desire are already on their way, strengthening your faith and ensuring that you continue to receive the best things the universe can offer. A grateful mind is always fixed on the increase of life, which is the foundational ethical principle of this science.
Thinking in the certain way. This chapter provides the critical, tactical instructions for maintaining the mental state required for wealth creation, building directly upon the foundation of gratitude and the creative vision.
Thinking in the certain way means holding the mental image of your desired life with unwavering faith and purpose. Wattles warns that many people fail because after forming the vision, they allow their thoughts to slip back into old negative or competitive patterns. To succeed, one must consciously control their mind and never let it dwell on the negative aspects of life, such as poverty, illness, or misfortune. Dwelling on lack will impress the formless substance with the image of lack, causing one to create what they fear, not what they desire. The certain way of thinking involves two main actions: retention of the vision. You must have a clear, precise, and vivid picture of what you want, held constantly in your mind, supported by the conviction, faith, that it is already being created for you. And focus on the good. Direct your thoughts exclusively toward abundance, success, health, and possibility. You must speak only of the positive and never indulge in the conversation or imagery of failure or hardship, even when dealing with others. By persistently holding this specific mental attitude, you keep the creative power in continuous motion, ensuring that all forces working to bring you the desired riches remain activated.
How to use the will. This chapter clarifies the correct and incorrect application of the will in the science of getting rich. Wattles emphasizes that the will is not meant to be used as an external coercive force. It must not be directed at nature, circumstance, or other people to compel them to do your bidding. Using the will to force others is a competitive approach and will ultimately lead to ruin. Instead, the will's entire power is to be used internally, serving one crucial purpose: to keep your mind fixed upon the vision of what you want. The primary obstacle to getting rich is the tendency of the mind to waver, doubt, or revert to negative, competitive, or fear-based thinking. The will acts as the necessary tool for mental discipline. You must deliberately choose to believe in your vision and, when thoughts of poverty or failure arise, use your will to push them away and immediately replace them with the positive image of your desired reality. This is an internal command. You will yourself to hold the faith and purpose required to activate the formless substance. This continuous, focused internal action is the only legitimate use of the will in the process of wealth creation, ensuring that the creative energy remains directed toward the attainment of your goal.
Further use of the will. Building on the previous chapter, Wattles provides more detail on how to protect the mental state using the will. He warns that the external world, with its news of poverty, distress, and economic struggles, can constantly intrude upon and corrupt the necessary positive mental image. To successfully think and act in the certain way, you must use your will to shield your mind from negative impressions. This means consciously avoiding the study of poverty or focusing on suffering, as these thoughts will inevitably be impressed upon the formless substance, causing you to create what you fear. Wattles notes that this is not a call to be heartless, but a pragmatic necessity for success. If you see people in need, you should use your creative thought to form the image of their increase and abundance, rather than dwelling on their current state of lack. The chapter reinforces that you must spend your mental energy exclusively on the ideal, the perfect realization of your vision. You must refuse to talk about, read about, or listen to anything that contradicts your faith and purpose. If you find your thoughts straying, you need to exert your will more firmly, commanding your mind to return to the vision. By relentlessly controlling your mental environment, the will ensures your creative thought remains clear and pure, guaranteeing the successful manifestation of your riches.
Acting in the certain way. After establishing the mental foundation of faith, purpose, and gratitude. Wattles explains the thought alone, no matter how powerful, is insufficient. It must be connected to action. The energy created by your mental picture must be imparted to the formless substance, and this connection is made through physical action. The certain way of acting means doing, in your current job or business, everything that can be done today, but doing it with the single purpose of conveying your vision of increase to the creative substance. You must put the power of your unwavering purpose into every act. Every task, no matter how menial, must be performed with the conviction that you are an advancing person, consciously moving toward your goal. This action must always adhere to the moral principle of giving more in use value than you receive in cash value. By doing this, you are actively enriching the lives of those around you, and as you do so, people are naturally drawn to you, bringing the resources and opportunities that align with your mental picture. You must take all necessary actions now, without procrastination, knowing that today's successful action will lead directly to tomorrow's greater opportunity. The foundation of your future wealth is built by making today a successful day.
Advanced action. This chapter serves as a detailed guide to executing the certain way of acting in daily life. Wattles emphasizes that you do not need to wait for a major opportunity to appear before you start acting. Instead, you must apply the intention of increase to your present environment and circumstances. The key to advanced action is to move beyond the average person's method of work. Every single transaction you conduct must be done with the definite purpose of contributing to the full development of everyone involved. For example, if you are a worker, you must give more in effort and quality than you are paid for, not with the intention of pleasing a boss, but to impress your own desire for wealth onto the formless substance. This conscious effort ensures that no matter what you do, you are seen by others as an advancing, capable, and invaluable person. If you cannot find a means of immediate enrichment in your current job, you must still do your daily work with complete success, all while holding the vision. Wattles concludes that by focusing your energy on being useful, making those around you more prosperous, and performing every action with the firm faith that you are growing rich, you set in motion the creative forces that will inevitably attract the perfect opportunity, leading to the necessary capital and the complete realization of your mental picture.
We've walked the entire road laid out by Wallace D. Wattles, moving from the revolutionary idea that you have a right to be rich to the concrete steps of advanced action. What Wallace ultimately gives us is not just financial advice, but a comprehensive operating manual for creation itself. The entire science of getting rich boils down to three unshakable pillars, all working in harmony. First, the thought. You must accept that there is an inexhaustible formless substance underlying all reality, and it can be influenced by your mind. You must use your will, not to coerce others, but to hold an utterly clear, definite mental picture of the life you intend to live. This vision must be maintained with faith and purpose, shielding your mind from all competitive and negative thoughts of scarcity or failure. This mental discipline is non-negotiable. Second, the connection. The key to staying aligned with the creative universe is the constant practice of gratitude. By being truly thankful for what you have now, you prevent your mind from slipping back into the mindset of poverty and lack, ensuring that you remain on the creative, not the competitive, plane. Third, the action. Thought and faith must culminate in acting in the certain way. This means starting where you are, doing every daily task with perfect success, and imbuing every transaction with the intention of increase. You must ensure that everyone you deal with, whether a customer, an employer, or a friend, receives more in use value than the cash they give you. This principle of giving increase is the ethical guarantee that you are contributing to the total enrichment of the world, thereby setting the creative forces in motion to bring your desired riches to you through the channels of commerce. The man who succeeds, the man who lives the truly rich life, is the one who consistently unifies these three forces: a mind fixed on a specific vision, a heart connected by gratitude, and hands busy with advanced action. This book is more than a strategy. It's a transformation of consciousness. If this journey through the science of getting rich has sparked a new sense of possibility within you, we would be honored to have you join our community. If you believe, as we do, that life is meant to be lived fully and expansively, then please subscribe to WiserReads. Your support helps us continue sharing the knowledge that empowers us all to manifest our greatest potential. Thank you for reading wisely with us today. We'll see you in the next one.